Daijahao, and welcome to a new deck profile. Today I'm going to show you the Sworldsoul Tenyi list that I played at a pretty big regional recently. So I ended top 32 at that regional. After 8 rounds of Swiss, I was 7-1. I was 6th overall out of 228 players, but then I played my first top 32 match and lost. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sucks to suck. Didn't win a playmat this time, but we'll just have to look at the Dragon Maid playmat that I already have. Dragon Maid is the hint for next video? Perhaps. Let's get right into the list. So for the Sworldsoul part of the deck, we played triple Ecclesia, triple Moye, triple Long One, double Taya, triple Emergence, and one Blackout. This is pretty standard. I chose not to play the Summit. I don't think it was needed, so I didn't include it into the list. Double Taya. This is a higher than 40 card list, so I think double Taya was pretty good for me. I don't think I would play one. I don't really like playing only one of Taya. And triple Ecclesia. I don't know why some people play two. I think this card is absolutely amazing. You have to play that three. That's for the Sworldsoul part of the deck. For the Tenyi part, we played triple Ashuna, triple Adara, double Vishuddha, one Shtana, and triple Vessel. Same thing, this could be considered a high count because of the 3 vessels. Sometimes people play only at 2. I think it's a big mistake. Sometimes it could technically be dead, but the payoff of resolving it is so huge that I think playing at 3 is justified. For the Plan C, it's what I like to call it, into the deck, we play triple Italy and one Despot 1. That's what's so good about the deck, in my opinion, is that you're allowed to have 2 engines that are really good. Also, when they're mixed together, they're even better. And when it gets stopped, sometimes you play through interruption within the engine, but if this gets stopped, you have a Plan C, which is to go into either Ogre to go into Synchros, or Ogre to go into Orodon combo, like Hulk Orodon. And this is so good to beat boards going second, and also very good to make them going first because you play through hand traps. This could be technically a circle, like the Tenyi circle, but this, in my opinion, Italy was better. In case you had a hand which was really suboptimal, like multiple hand traps and no monster to summon, like no Tenyi monster, no Sworldsoul monster, which will happen sometimes, this is better because at least it gets you into the Hulk combos. For other cards that we played into the list, we played one Call by the Grave and one Pot of Desires. You have to play Pot of Desires, it's so good. And then for the hand traps, which we played a lot of, we have triple Ash, triple Ogre, triple Bell, triple Veiler, and triple Nibiru. So this is a very high count of hand traps. We played 15 of them in the list, so we have 48 cards. 48 was kind of weird. I used to play only 45. Last minute, I added 3 Bell because I thought, okay, Despia just came out. It's going to be pretty popular at the tournament. So I faced none, but Bell was still pretty good because I faced a lot of Eldritch, more than expected. And this is also very good against Eldritch because it's basically 3 more copies of Ash against Sanguine. And also it stops Lord and Hakero. But other than that, I think between 40 to 45 is the perfect number for the deck. I didn't know what to cut last minute to add the Bell, so I just tried to just put it in to be at 48. Sometimes some hands can be a little clumsy, but the Orodon thing really helps. If you see too many hand traps, sometimes it's okay because your opponent cannot play the game if you stop them at the right moment. It happens where sometimes you see no hand traps, and you still you're in a very good position going first with no hand trap, because if you don't see any hand trap going first, that means you have a lot of engine, and so you play through multiple interruptions going first. And going second with no hand traps, the engine, the deck is already super good for going second, so it's okay if you don't draw that many. That's why I might consider cutting a lot of hand traps to go closer to 40. If I were to cut on some right now, it would probably be maybe fewer of some of them, like -1 Bell, -1 Nibiru, -1 Ogre, but I don't really like going 2 of some hand traps. I really like having playsets. Maybe cut entire playset altogether, maybe we cut the 3 Nibiru, but at the same time Nibiru is really interesting, so I don't know, we'll have to make cuts in this deck. But it was still pretty good. I think going to 45 would be ideal. 48 was okay for me. That's it for the main deck. Let's go right into the extra deck. By the way, check out, peep those Gucci sleeves, pretty drip. Sheesh. Also, cool. Those are the tokens that I use for the events, the emote tokens. I think they're pretty cool. Well, anyway, for the extra deck, we played a pretty standard ratios of a link, or lineup of links, rather. So, double monk, one shaman, one Hulk, and one Auroradon. I don't see myself playing any less than those because sometimes shaman rarely comes up, but it's very, very useful when it does. I wouldn't cut it. I think this card's really good. For the synchros, we played double Shishao, one Qixing Long one Tenyi, and one Baron. All of the Sworldsoul synchros are absolutely amazing. All of them are nuts. Yeah, I think you have to play all of them in different situations and different matchups. They do everything that you would want them to do. Like, they're absolutely crazy. For the other synchro, we played one Yazi, one Baxia, one Chaofeng, one Berserker the Tenyi. And before I show you the last card that I played in the extra deck, let me tell you, I used to play double Baxia. I kind of missed the second one in some games, but most likely you're never going to need it in like bigger tournaments. Like, if you use it at a good moment, you won't need the second one. In longer games, you have different options to go into instead of the second one. But if you don't play the last card I'm showing you, or if you want to cut something else for the second Baxia, I think that's also okay. Second one can be very good to clear an entire board, but last card that I chose, the last tech, and I think was one of the best cards in my extra deck, Shooting Riser Dragon. Let me explain why this card was so amazing. So, first of all, if you get interrupted on your Hulk combo and Hulk sticks on the field, like if you get Ashed, Imperm, or like Veiler, you can still use the second effect of Hulk to go into this, and use one of your remaining monsters on board to go into Synchros. This modulates this card modulates his level. So it's really easy to change it to whatever you need, because you have level 1, you have level 3, 4, and 6 in your deck. So it's really easy to make it up to a count of 10, including the other monster that you have, to go into either like whatever you need. Baron, you would need this against Brave maybe, or you could have this against like other decks, like this against DP is absolutely amazing, by the way. But so this is the first interaction that's really good with the card. Second, you can hard make it within your Hulk combo to go into the best cards into the side deck. Token Collector for Brave and Sworldsoul, or Necrobolt Banshee. So this was, let me take out the extra deck. So this was one of the best part of the side deck. Those cards that you can have access to with an engine. Like, you don't even have to go into Hulk combos, because you can make level 7 in your engine. Having access to this is absolutely crazy. I played 3 Flonderies during the tournament. I won against all of them just because I had access to this so easily. So, also, when you play Flonderies and you're facing a Sworldsoul, no one is ever going to side in back removal. So you just activate Zombie World, they lose the game. Which it's also pretty funny, because it's also good against other matches randomly. Like, it's good against Drytron if people still play Drytron. It's also good against... I faced one Dino, and this was pretty good against Dino. And it's also good against Tri-Brigade. Some people want to try the new Tri-Brigade branded list, which is pretty funny. But yeah, having access to this, absolutely crazy. Also, one funny combo that I can show you with a Token Collector. So, if you have a pretty weird hand and can only go into Auroradon combos, you can make like Deathbot Auroradon stuff. So this summons 3 tokens. You have your Deathbot 1. With your Deathbot 1 and 2 tokens, you go into this. You send your Token Collector for your opponent's turn. So this is in your grave. And then whenever they summon a token, even if you have only this on field, and like imagine like some hand traps because you didn't have any engine cards, you can summon Token Collector, activate, so mandatory effect activates to pop the token. You can chain this because this is still level 3, and you go 3, 3, and 4, boom, you have Bar on the Floor. Or like any other level 10 synchro, but usually Bar on the Floor. So you cleared the token, and you have 1 extra interruption in the form of Bar on the Floor, and you also have your end traps and stuff. So this was a pretty cool combo. For the rest of the side deck, we have Gamma Driver, Droplets, Twisters, and 2D Barrier. So I really didn't like the side deck that I went for, apart from the crazy this combo. But other than that, I didn't really like the other patterns that I have in my side deck. Gamma was really good. Like, it's one of the best hand traps definitely in this format, but having to it takes 4 spots in the side deck, and that's a lot. Also, having to side one of the driver in instead of one of your main deck cards really suck. So I don't know if I would still keep it coming forward. Droplets wasn't that useful in the meta, I feel like. Arguably, you could stay in because it deals very well with established boards. And I think I'm really lacking on back row removal. So, like, in hindsight, I was going to face a lot of back row decks because LH is getting more popular. So this might, like, I might need to put like one Duster, one Reboot in the main, which also Duster is really good against other matchups, like Full Underease, for example. And D-Barrier, didn't face any Despia, but I think the card is still pretty good, so this might be bumped up to 3 instead of like this. This might be, for example, Duster and Reboots instead of the Gammas, and like you have one other card to spare, maybe play something else. I'm still not sure. But other than that, I think if you want to play this deck, I think the most important cards that you have to play is, of course, the Shooting Riser package and like back row removal. Droplets was actually pretty nice during the tournament, so I might leave it in, and maybe more a D-Barrier. This is a little bit more unsure. But yeah, other than that, really satisfied with the list. If you have never played Swordssoul, you should 100% play it, like at least try it. It's such a fun deck to play. I really liked it, and that's about it for me. Thank you for watching, and see you for the next deck profile.